Hey, what is good, YouTube? College football fans. Hey, it's week 6 of the college football season. Today's Wednesday, October 3rd, 2018. Happy hump day. Hey, this is my second video. Put out last week was my first inaugural video of the week 5 college football. Once again, if you watched my video last week, you know that I'm presenting my model I created for college football picks against the spread. I hope you like and subscribe. I got some views last week. Just trying to promote this thing. It's just a straight up blue collar picks. I'm not gonna BS around like other cappers. I'm not stat driven. I'm not knowledge driven. It's kind of everything as a whole. I utilize the model based on several different things that I've included in the calculations, including the football power index percentage, win percentage, the line, and a few other factors. So like I said, this is not trying to you're not going to see the big fancy advertisements, or as far as the flashiness of the of my channel. I get straight to the point. Like I said, I'm not going to BS you. If you like my stuff, subscribe, follow me, leave me some comments. I'm sharing this because hey, we're all in it for the same thing, to make money and beat the odds, right? So let me walk you through my model and my picks. I'm going to highlight and explain some of the main games and stuff that I like. Like I said, I want the feedback. I'll reply to as many comments as possible on my page. Hey, welcome, and let's get it going. First things first here is the schedule for this week. You can see there's a few top 25 matchups to pay attention to. Let's go Oklahoma, Texas versus Oklahoma. Note that that's not a home game for Texas. That's played in Dallas. So that's something you need to know there. Key factor, Texas not being home. Barely pulling off the win at Kansas State last week. A couple other ones here, LSU at Florida. That should be a good close game there in the SEC. And also there was one more over here. Oh yeah, Notre Dame at Virginia Tech, which should also be a pretty good game. So yeah, this is just a rundown of the schedule. As you can note too, see all the national televised games, ESPN, ESPN2. You can also find this off ESPN, by the way. So based on my model and the matchups, this is what I have this week for the best bets. Now this is the model, including my take and knowledge of college football. If you notice over there to the left, I have the last 2 weeks win percentages based on these picks. As you see, last week was pretty rough. There was a lot of close finishes and to the line last week, but we're still hovering around 60%. I've done this every week of the college football season, and I have yet to dip under 55%. If you notice the fade there, the fade is in which recently I've changed to stay away. As you notice, those have been under 50%, but those, ideally, what I'm putting out is those are the games you want to stay away from. But if you are going to bet, then bet against the favored team on that line. So the overall is just including the best and the lean picks. Just going through here. So as as I indicated in my first video, I'm not going to explain this every week, but so here's the columns. Here is you have the power index percentage. That's what they're saying, the percentage of their chance of winning outright, and these are all the favored teams based on that FPI. So there may be some teams in here that are not favored on the line getting points, but are favored on win percentage or chances of winning. And then so the line here, which is obviously going to fluctuate throughout the week, I try to keep it updated as much as possible, and then based on all my calculations and what ultimately this model is spitting out is confidence points in those picks. The yellow indicates that, like I just said, that their favored percentage on the power index to win, but they're dogs on the line. So the negative is actually these are backwards for calculation purposes. So the negative, they're actually getting 3, and then if it's just a 4, they're giving 4, like Syracuse is. So those numbers are backwards. I like Syracuse right now. According to the model, they're the top play of the week. They're at Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is they're a garbage team. They have one, if you want to call it a quality win. I wouldn't call it a quality win at home versus Georgia Tech, but otherwise they've been getting stomped. Syracuse obviously didn't pull it out last week, but played tough against Clemson on the road. That line was 25 was ridiculous. I almost took it as a lock pick, but I didn't. But Syracuse is just a good team. They have some studs, and I expect them to get it done. And so with the confidence you add these two together, it's given Syracuse at least a 2-touchdown win. Going down the line, like I said, I'm not going to touch on these outside the Power 5 games, maybe a few. I like Utah State. And anytime that you have this scenario where they're favored on the power index but getting points, you want to take it. It's right more often than not. So Utah State at BYU, I think BYU is still getting a lot of credit for their win at Wisconsin. Utah State's just a lot better team. They have more athletes. I think there's basically just more athletic, and so you're getting 3 there. I think that they have the chance, obviously with the percentage here, but to win it outright. And anytime you have that, you want to take a team straight up, you always take the points. So we'll take the 3 there. Going down Florida. It likes Florida. Florida's really bounced back since that Kentucky loss at home. They're getting 3 versus LSU. I expect that to be a close game, and I would take the home team with the points in that one. Air Force versus Navy. That'll be a close game, a boring ass close game. But same scenario. There's 60% chance of winning and getting 3.5. NC State, really good team. They're they're giving 4. I have to go back and check, but actually I just forgot who they played. But let me move on here. A&M. I hesitated on this. This is just what the model likes. I would actually stay away from that game versus Kentucky. It's going back and forth. Yes, it is at College Station, and Kentucky's due for a loss, and A&M almost should have beat Clemson at home. If I was to bet that game, I'd almost take the points. But then again, they're 68% on the winning percentage, chances of winning. Like I said, this is what the model likes based on the numbers. Cincinnati, they're rolling. They're a good team. That offense is really starting to click. Iowa, they're one of my lock picks. You'll see at the end here. They're at Minnesota. Minnesota got raked over the coals the last team they played on the road. Let me see here. Yeah, so Minnesota got rolled. Oh, it was by Maryland. That's what it was. Maryland rolled them. Iowa by far better defense, and that offense they'll basically take the blueprint that Maryland did and they'll execute it even better. So that line is very, very lot lower than it should be. I think that'll be a blowout game, even though Iowa's on the road, but they're just a lot better team. Miami, and home versus FSU, that rivalry. I would take Miami just by sheer talent, and FSU is sucked pretty bad all around. I wouldn't be surprised though if that comes down to a touchdown, but the model is liking Miami by 2 touchdowns. Oklahoma, I mentioned in the schedule, it's not at Texas, it's in Dallas, and actually Murray, their quarterback, is from Dallas, so and obviously he's making a Heisman push, and OU's just a far better team. I know their defense is suspect, but I don't think it'll be a close game as everybody's predicting. It'll be the toughest matchup yet for both teams, but ultimately I think OU's offense is just it's going to just overpower Texas, and especially not being at Texas. I mean, Texas just barely beat Kansas State on the road. I know that's another rivalry, but Texas is just not a good road team. And even though this is, they're going to play this like their Super Bowl, but I agree with the model here, taking OU. Wisconsin's one of my lock picks as well. You'll see at the end, they should steamroll Nebraska at home. I think Wisconsin's also coming off a bye, and they beat a tough Iowa team on the road. And Nebraska is Nebraska. They're just absolutely horrible this year. The scheme doesn't fit the talent.